Imagine finishing a 12-hour nursing shift at midnight, only to face a 3-hour drive home through fog-covered, potholed roads, with no guarantee of sleep before doing it all again 6 hours later. That's Fran's reality, a healthcare worker stuck in a cycle of exhaustion because Victoria Pass, a critical route in Australia's Blue Mountains, collapsed under the weight of its own neglect. And she's not alone. This isn't just a story about a broken road, it's a window into how systemic underinvestment in regional infrastructure is quietly dismantling lives, economies, and even basic safety. Let's unpack why this matters far beyond New South Wales. The Victoria Pass closure isn't some random accident. This road was built in the 1830s, yes, 1830s, by convicts. The bridge holding up the Great Western Highway? It's nearly a century old. So when officials say repairs will take a year, I immediately think, why weren't we having this conversation 20 years ago? This isn't maintenance, it's an emergency room for infrastructure. And the patients? Nurses, teachers, small business owners, and kids riding school buses for 8 hours a day. Personally, I think this exposes a deeper issue. Governments often treat rural areas as afterthoughts until the roads literally fall apart. Take Claire, the nurse who now spends 90 minutes commuting instead of 35. She's not just tired, she's a cog in a system where healthcare workers are stretched thin, yet forced to waste hours in traffic instead of sleeping. What's the hidden cost here? Burnout. Turnover. A potential exodus from rural healthcare. If you're a nurse in Lithgow, do you stick around knowing your job now demands 16-hour days between shifts and commutes? Or do you move closer to Sydney, where the hospitals are already overflowing? This isn't just about roads, it's about whether remote communities can retain essential workers at all. Then there's Ronnie, the shop owner who closed her pop culture store after 6 years. The government's $10,000 grant? She calls it a joke. And she's right. Let's do the math. If her rent and expenses eat $10,000 a month, that grant covers one payment. What's the broader implication? Token gestures don't fix structural collapse. When through traffic vanishes, local businesses become collateral damage. This mirrors a global trend. As cities boom, rural economies suffocate quietly. No one's filming TikToks about the mom-and-pop shop that couldn't survive a road closure, but their stories are the bedrock of regional identity. Now, let's talk about the kids. One family drives 50 minutes round trip twice a day just to catch a school bus that doesn't exist on their original route. The average family's travel time has jumped by 2 to 3 hours daily. What's the long-term effect? Childhood burnout. How do you focus on homework when you're spending 10 hours a week just in transit? And the emotional toll on parents. They're taking second jobs to pay for gas, all while navigating black ice and blind turns. What many people don't realize is that this isn't just inconvenience, it's generational trauma for families who believed they were choosing a simpler life. Here's the kicker, this isn't even a unique problem. From crumbling highways in Appalachia to neglected railways in rural Europe, the pattern repeats. Governments prioritize flashy urban projects while historic infrastructure in regional areas decays. And when disaster strikes, whether a bridge collapse or a bushfire with only one evacuation route, the consequences are life-threatening. A detail I find fascinating is how the detours here mirror climate resilience failures globally. Single points of failure in transportation equals single points of disaster in emergencies. So, what's the takeaway? Victoria Pass isn't just a pothole. It's a symbol of how we value, or ignore, rural communities. If you take a step back and think about it, this is about equity. Should living outside a major city mean sacrificing your time, safety, and livelihood? The nurses, shop owners, and parents in the Blue Mountains are sounding alarms that echo worldwide. And until we treat infrastructure as a lifeline rather than a line item, these stories will keep repeating. What's your take? Do you think governments prioritize urban centers at the expense of rural regions? Drop your thoughts below, let's discuss.